Okay, so I figured if I'm getting these downloads, why not share them while I'm up? Mastering yourself is about going inward. Mastering yourself is about going inward to understand why you have the impulses you have and what triggers or causes these impulses that you have. So, a lot of times when you are in a place of trying to master yourself, it is about going inward to understand why you have the impulses you have. I heard a couple of times a lot of people say this. People's biggest fear is not noise. Do you know that people will stay around noise all day, every day, 24 hours a day if they could? People will love to stay around noise. A person's biggest fear is not noise, but a person is most frightened in the silence. And the reason why a person is more frightened in the silence is because the silence is where it's the most loudest. Ain't that something? People think that the noise is the most loudest, but it's not. The silence is the most loudest. And in society, in the world, in how society teaches it, they teach it as though the noise is the loudest. But no, sweetheart, silence is the loudest. Because silence is going to show you every dark thing about yourself. Silence will show you the impulses you have and why you have those impulses. Silence will show you the places within you that you have to heal from, that you have to give yourself that time and that space and that love. Silence will show you who you really are on a soul level, on a spirit level, not your physical. I am telling you, that's what silence will do. And that's why a lot of people will reject silence. That's why a lot of times when people sit in silence too long, they'll either pick their phone up or turn on the TV and have some type of noise because they need to drown out the silence, because the silence is too loud, but the noise is quiet. So a lot of the time, that is why when you see somebody and they struggle with sitting in silence, it's because the silence is so loud. I'll give y'all an example. I was over somebody's house once, well, a couple of times. And I'm a very, very silent and quiet person. That's who I am. I love silence. I love quietness. It's just something about the silence and the quietness. It speaks to you. And I remember being over this person's house. And every time I was over their home, I would always just kind of be in silence. It was moments and times where I can sit for hours and just be in silence. And I would engage in conversation, but more so just be at peace in silence. And I remember the person saying to me, I don't like the silence. The person said that they kept saying that, they was like, why are you so silent? Why is it so quiet? I don't like the silence. I don't like this. I don't like this. And then the person will proceed to turn the TV on and blast it to where the sounds would be thumping off the walls. The noise would be bumping off the walls. And I say that to say this, because the silence was speaking louder to that person than the noise. So the person rather hear the noise than have to listen to the silence of what's going on within them, what is happening to them, and what is going on within them internally. And so whenever I would come around this person and I would just be in a place of silence, it would disturb them so bad, because all they wanted was noise, but all I wanted was silence, so that I can hear, so that I can feel, and so that I can understand what is happening. And that is what silence will do. Silence will cause you to have to really look within yourself. Go inward, go inward, go inward. And to really search out those different parts of yourself to understand, what is it that I need to do now? But a lot of the times the silence is so scary for people and so frightening, because it requires change. When silence is present, it will require you to look at yourself in such a way where it will invoke you to have to change. And if you can't change, then what a lot of people do, they will go back to the noise. Because the noise is what's familiar to them. The noise is what the noise pushes out the silence. The noise removes the loudness of the silence. And so a lot of the time people will go right back to those old familiar noises, because the silence is speaking too loud. And I look back now at that situation whenever I would go around the person and they would be real uncomfortable with the silence, because it was requiring them to have to search within themselves. And for them, they weren't ready to go within. And so they chose the noise. But I chose the silence. So understand this, that mastering yourself is about going within, going inward to understand your impulses and to why you do the things you do, and being able to go within silently, so that the silence can help you to understand patterns and things and ways and issues and things that you have not yet dealt with, so that you can understand that this is why the impulses are the way they are. So once you can understand and master yourself, nobody else can master you but only God. Nobody else can really take you to that place of trying to make you feel like you're a certain type of way. It's like you're mastering yourself and understanding that this is what happens to me. This is why my nervous system get out of balance. This is why I feel emotional. This is why my anxiety comes. This is why depression comes. This is why I feel the way I feel. So understand this. Mastering yourself is about going inward to understand the impulses you have and why you have them, and to be able to go inward within yourself silently so you can get a better understanding for yourself. So when you always see a person around noise, and it's like no matter where they at, no matter what they doing, they got to have some type of noise around them. Understand this. Sometimes the silence is too scary. The silence is very frightening for some people, because the silence will require you to feel, to see, to hear what is going on within you internally. Okay. Just wanted to share that thought with y'all. I love you. We'll talk soon again.